It is officially Fusion Strike's time to shine, and I'm going to tell you guys why. We're going to talk about boxes, singles, and everything from the set. Why is it just taking off now? Not that it wasn't taking off, but why is it really popping off right now? And we're going to start off with the booster boxes, and these are up 28% in the past 3 months, which is pretty good growth for a box that's been out for quite a while. And as you guys can see right here on this little window on the 3-month chart, 3-day window, they sold 50 items, which was the most in the last 3 months. It went from 210 up to 291 a box, 295. So I'm pretty much just calling this a $300 box now. And yeah, I mean, in the last month, 22% growth. We'll take a little zoom out right here, get a better picture. So last year, this was just at MSRP pretty much. It ran up to the 230s, 240s, then it cooled off for a while, all the way down to 210. So that was a pretty good, if you hadn't picked up any boxes, this would have been your time to pick up right here. But now it's just going absolutely parabolic. So Fusion Strike, why is this doing this now? Well, a lot of the reason is, I was getting these in the comments a lot when we were talking about Fusion Strike. Oh, this is available at the Pokemon Center UK MSRP. Well, it's finally sold out, right? So that's probably one of the main driving factors is, the markets are different, and at the UK Pokemon Center, it was widely available. They just had a ton of stock. It's finally sold out. So I think that's helping this on top of the boom that we're in right now. And the other reason is the Gengar. The Gengar is a very desirable chase card. Obviously, super cool art. He's just like sucking up the world. Sucking up the world. So yeah, cool card, very desirable. The chart on this guy looks pretty good. 3-month chart, just same thing, just like steady, and then just kind of up with a lot of sales right here at 400, 395. So 36% up. It was just $300 3 months ago. And in the last month, 20% gain. That's wild. We'll take a look at things. This is what's very interesting about this card. This was a $200 card for a long time. Then we had the alt art boom in like April, May. Pretty much May. Ran up to 409. Then it kind of came down to like 300 for a long time, and now it's up to 411. So we are seeing 1-year highs on the Gengar Vmax. Last sold 430, 420, 418, and a 512. So Gengar and the booster box is absolutely destroying this set. Next up, this video is brought to you by Shiny. Shiny is a TCG collector app. This can track your values of all your single sealed product, for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, Lorcana, pretty much anything you're looking at. They have really good reviews, 4.9 out of 5 stars. This is a completely free app. There is a paid version that you can get, but it doesn't affect the app. It's just like cosmetic stuff, so you don't have to pay anything to use it, and it's just a great way to track your collection. If you have a lot of sealed product like me, or even singles, you can just throw them all in there, and you don't have to just pull up all these charts all the time. You can just let the app do the work. They pull data from eBay, TCG, and price charting sales, so that way you have a very accurate price for Shiny. Great way to track your collection. But back to Fusion Strike. Then we have this is the Espeon card. Now this is a very interesting card because we talked about this a little recently. This card should have probably been in Evolving Skies, but it got put in Fusion Strike. And I think that's helping the set a lot because honestly, kind of after like the Gengar and this card, the cards kind of really fall off. And this one is actually down on the 3-month chart. It's not really doing what the Gengar's been doing. This was in the 180s for a while. The 1 month is probably looking good because it's bouncing back 15%, so bouncing up a little. The 1-year chart though, it's nowhere near its 1-year high like the Gengar was. This was 340 at the alt art boom. This one boomed later, like late May, early June. One of the later cards to do it. And yeah, it went from that price all the way down to like 190. So it is bouncing back a little. Pretty consistent, 214, 205, 230, 230. So I mean, it's pretty consistent at that price, just a little bit over $200 for the Espeon. This is a cool card. But yeah, this is one of those ones where it seemed like this should have been an Evolving Skies card. But anyways, we're not going to hold that against Fusion Strike because it's in here, right? So this is a nice card. Evolution always helps the set. Then we have, Pokemon Center ETB is also, the whole set's popping off right now. So pretty much not everything, like the Espeon's not, but most of it is. So this is a Pokemon Center ETB. Back in Sword and Shield, you did not get a stamped promo. So I think it was just extra packs, I believe. So this ETB isn't super desirable in my opinion, except for like for a collection. The box art's pretty nice. So if you want to have this up in your collection, sealed display, I think that's the main reason for me. But with booster box prices getting expensive, if you wanted some packs to rip, then you go to the cheaper option. This is now a $100 box. Last sold's 104. These were 70 for a long time. In the last month, it's just 27% growth. Zoom out to the 1 year. 1 year is very steady, 60%. You could have had these for $55 last January. Yeah, they just continue to run. There's only 24 currently listed on TCG Player, so that's kind of interesting. And last sold 104, 99, 89. There's another 105 down here. So Pokemon Center ETB of Fusion Strike doing well. Then we're going to talk about there's a few Mew cards that, you know, I think this is kind of like Gengar and Mew pretty much carry most of the set. And there's another card in here that I actually really like. That's probably one of my favorites from this set. But this card, and this is not going as wild either. It's only up 10%. Went from 78 down to 76 up to 83, 85. They have market at 85, but recent sales 90. But we have a $100 sale here as well. So this one's kind of bouncing all over that. Not too many copies available, 24. So, and you can see the most amount of sales happening here. So this will be an interesting card. This probably will run a little bit more. Not at its 1 year high yet. 1 year high was 103. So although that one sale is pretty close at 100, so might be nearing its 1 year high. This is a nice Mew card. There's a few really nice Mew cards in this set. We're gonna take a look at regular ETBs here as well. Now these are up 35%. 35% growth for a regular ETB is really good. Could have had this for $52 3 months ago. Pretty good gains here. The 1 month chart, 18% up. I mean, super solid. And 1 year looking really great, 86%. Just solid growth, long-term solid growth. We got 2 more Mew cards coming up here. So this is the Rainbow Mew card, which for me, if I'm picking a Mew card, it's not this one, but it's got some pretty decent growth, 14% up. Market price at $41. However, most recent sale was $50. So we got, but before that, it's pretty low, like 39, 35, but there's a 40, and then down here, there's a few more 50s. So looks like this card could continue to run as well. The Mew cards, you know, with the Bubble Mew doing what it is, that's kind of a driving factor in my opinion. We also have this next. I like this Mew a lot. This is just the Mew V. This one's actually flat on the 3 month chart. It was 34 and it's at 34 again. Bouncing off the 1 month might look a little bit better. Yeah, 11% up. And the big boom, it only went to 58. So it's nowhere near its 1 year high. I would expect that this card will run. I just don't know when. It's definitely the lesser of the Mew cards, so it'd be nice to see this card run as well. But I like this artwork a lot on this card. Next up, okay, so the Celebi. This might be my favorite or second favorite card from the set. I'm not sure. I absolutely love this card. This is one of those cards that is just too cheap in my opinion. It's an alt art that's $30. It's up a little, 6% in the past 3 months and 4% in the past month. The 1 year, it only went up to like $45, $47. So, but before that, it was in the 20s. So, setting higher lows, which is good. Most recent sales actually 30, 31, 28. So, this one probably won't move. It doesn't have like, you know, the Bubble Mew helping the other cards move. This Celebi doesn't. It's a legendary Pokemon. I think this card should be more expensive, but you know, I get it. Maybe not everybody likes it. We got a few more cards here. And this is an interesting one. I mean, it makes sense. So this is like the lesser VMAX, and dollar-wise, not very expensive, but it's similar to the alt art, right? This card's up 57% in the past 3 months. You could have had it at $7.78, and now it's in the $13 range. So that, once again, that's not surprising as well. The alt art leading the way, right? 23% growth on the 1 month chart. Let's see what the 1 year. So this didn't have the alt art boom, which would have been somewhere in here. It didn't. The VMAX, the alt art ran in here. This card didn't do anything. So 59% growth on the 1 year chart, but now it's running. So that's kind of interesting. 138 copies available. 13, 12. There's a $20 sale in here, so that's interesting as well. I don't put too much stock in this card, but just wanted to point it out. Then we have, okay, so I realize that once again, this doesn't have any connection to any other cards, but this is a stunning alternate art of a cool Pokemon, like starter. So anyways, it's a nice looking card. I get why it's cheap. It's like 20 or less, $19. Last sold's 22. It's just a nice alt art. I just wanted to point it out. This doesn't have a reason to run either, because this is pretty much a Gengar Mew set with the Bubble Mew helping along a lot. So I just wanted to point out this is a nice card. And then so if we're looking at this set as a whole, I'm not going to spend too long on these cards, but I just wanted to point out that this attack is Nom 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 Incisors. That's just a fun attack. But this has some of the cheapest alt arts, and it really falls off after the Mews, and that's kind of why I'm just bringing that up. And we're going to talk about the set as a whole leading out of this. You got the Sandaconda, the Snake by the Heater. It's a $3 card. You got... Okay, now this card, though, I just want to show the growth on this card. This was one of those like cheaper cards, $3. It's up 158%. All the Gengars are moving in this set, apparently. You could have got this for $1, and now it's $3. So we'll see. The 1 year, yeah, didn't really have any movement. It was pretty stagnant for a long time until now, so just kind of found that interesting. But when we go back to the set, Fusion Strike as a set, I'll tell you why. Like, it's great that it's moving. I'm happy that it's moving. I'm all about it. We didn't talk about the Genesect either. It's a decent little alternate art. I prefer the Inteleon over it. But when you start to look at this set, it really, like, and you only need one card to carry a set, right? I mean, look at Twilight Masquerade with the Greninja. You only need one card, right? This card's got with an amazing Gengar, a really good Espeon, and some really good Mew cards, and I really like the Celebi, and then kind of after that, it kind of falls off. There's just nothing here. The rainbow cards, for me, they don't really do it for me. And you start to look at, like, we'll go to page 2. Like, page 2 is, you got some gold, a fluffy gold. I mean, there's just nothing here. There's nothing. You don't even want to mess around with page 3. We're already in less than $1 cards. So you got code cards here. So this set, very, very strong, like, top 2 to 3. We'll say like 4 to 5, and then after that it falls off really hard. Whereas when you compare to, I'll use the comparison of Lost Origin. While Lost Origin maybe so I say the Giratina is pretty top tier, but after that it kind of falls off. The Aerodactyl, and then just it doesn't have as much, like, dollar wise. But when you get into those cheaper, those lesser cards, the cheaper cards are just nicer. And so that's why Lost Origin, but Lost Origin's not coming up on $300 a box right now. So Lost Origin's probably one of my favorite sets from the era. I do like Fusion Strike as well, obviously, but I think Fusion really beats it in the top few, but then Lost Origin just has a little bit more depth to it, because you got Charizard, you got Gengar, you got multiple Pikachu cards from Lost Origin. So, but this video wasn't really about Fusion Strike versus Lost Origin. I just wanted to make you guys aware of what's going on with Fusion Strike. It's popping right now. I'd like to use this analogy before, the carousel analogy. If you've ever watched somebody on a carousel, they go around, and then once they become out of view, they go out of your view. You kind of can't see it until they come back around. And it seemed like we were all on Scarlet Violet, right? And then those became too expensive, and then, oh, hey, Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike's a good set. And I know a lot of that has to do with the Pokemon Center UK thing and everything. If it's available somewhere at MSRP or, cheap, then it makes sense that it can't just really run too crazy, because, a lot of people are able to get it for cheap. So as far as English product goes, right? So I wonder how many people... See, I kind of looked into, like, getting some boxes from the Pokemon Center UK, but then with the shipping and I don't know how to, I don't know, could have used a forwarder, but I don't know, I don't think my card would have worked. So I kind of thought about that, but I didn't go too deep into it, and I'm wondering if anybody was able to take advantage of that, even if you were flying, anyone taking a trip over to the UK, snatching up a bunch of those boxes on their way home, putting them in their luggage, would have done well to do that now. So something I was thinking about, but never acted on. So that's Fusion Strike. That's it for this one, guys. I just wanted to talk about Fusion Strikes just popping off. 300 a box. We got the Gengars in the 400s. So pretty wild set. Fun times. Let me know in the comments if you have any Fusion Strike, if you are happy about this, or if you are a little bummed because maybe you're chasing the Gengar and card prices have gone up. But let me know in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.